Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful sunny day it is today, crisp and cool. But we all survived the Friday night storm. That was quite a storm, wasn't it? So windy and everything. But it's so good to have everybody here this morning. What a blessing it is to have this community today as we open up our hearts and our minds and to begin with music. Let's welcome Astra Fox here.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Won't you join me in song? This is a Rainbow Family song. We are one in harmony. It goes like this. We are one in harmony, singing in celebration. We are one in harmony, singing in love. We are one, singing in celebration. We are one, singing in love. Great, one more time. We are one in harmony, singing in celebration. We are one in harmony, singing in love. We are one, singing in celebration. We are one, singing in love. Last time. We are one in harmony, singing in celebration. We are one in harmony, singing in love. We are one, singing in celebration. We are one, singing in love.
Yeah. What a beautiful way to open up. Just we are one, we are in harmony. Thank you. Beautiful song. Beautiful song. We like to begin our service with our vision and mission statement, affirming that. So if you'll see up on the screen and read with me. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. A good affirmation for this morning, a good affirmation that knowing that this vision is coming forth with every service, every class, every event we have. and so happy to be a part of this, and I'm glad you're a part of it also. We have a number of events coming up. I just want to run through a couple things before we start the sacred part of our service. The first thing is I've been talking about these services coming up, and this is the week they start. So be aware that, first of all, we have first of all, I want to thank everybody for bringing green bags this morning if you did that or brought them during the week. We appreciate that these efforts to continue to supply the food bank with dependable year-round supply of food for those people who need the support. And I love the food bank because you don't have to qualify for it. You just show up and they give you food, and so there's some pride in that. You don't have to beg or anything. You can just show up, and that's really great that they're able to do that. So I'm glad we're able to do that also to support them. If you brought a green bag today or this week sometime, could you just raise your hand? We give you a round of applause. Great. Thank you very much. I know one thing I love about the program is some people who can't even be here on Sunday will bring their bags by because they know it's that Sunday. So we appreciate anybody who might be watching online who brought your bag by also. And today there will be extra green bags. We won't have another pickup until another drop day until February. But you could go and pick up a bag now, so it's ready to go. So, and then our services this week, the winter solstice, the very Merry Christmas, which is Sunday, which is our very Christmas. I call it very Christmas because we're going to do Christmas carols, and then on the candle lighting services on the 23rd, we have the winter solstice ritual. This is a really important time that we honor this ancient ritual to just allow the season that's happening here, which is really important part of our own body rhythms, our own circadian rhythms that happened in our body, that have a natural sense that the nights are getting longer and longer. And guess what we're celebrating on this Thursday is it's the turn, and then our days will start getting longer from then on. And it's also something in our DNA, our ancestry, our lineage to celebrate the solstice because our ancestors did that also. So that's at 7 p.m. on Thursday night. It's a beautiful sacred evening that we have with candle lighting. We have a different kind of candle lighting than we have the following week. We have a spiral and some affirmations and chants we do, so please join us for that. And then as I mentioned, the Sunday, next Sunday is we're going to do these carols, sing-along carols, and then on Monday is our candle lighting service, which is on Monday the 23rd. And I often, this is our annual time when our practitioners have created this service, which is also very sacred. They each have parts that are going to be part of a continuous prayer. And then we also have a personal candle lighting where everyone will light a candle that's there. It's going to be a little bit over an hour, and so kids can come. I think that it's fine that they can make it through the talking and get to the candle lighting, which is their favorite part. So, and what I want to say about all of these events, I'll come back to this. So sometimes people want to know, they have certain Christmas aware that they have different kinds of outfits and things, and I wanted to kind of give you a guidance to that. So particularly the Sunday that we're doing the carols is the time to bring out your ugly sweaters. It's the time to bring out your garish kind of Christmas garb you've got, put on the Santa hats, and have some fun with it because we're going to do many Christmas carols. The next night, Monday, is our Christmas candle lighting service, and that is more of a sacred event. So you will see me on Sunday in some sort of a strange Christmassy thing, but on Monday, because it's more sacred, some of you have Christmas dresses or outfits that you don't wear as much as maybe you used to, the elegant ones. You can wear those for the Monday candlelight service. I'll actually be wearing a tie, which I never wear a tie these days. So that's important. And then the other thing I want to let you know that sandwiched in between all of this is our Spanish-speaking candlelight service. And you will find this if you want to watch it on YouTube from home, or you can watch it in person here. It'll be after the regular service at 12:30. And you're welcome to do that. If you're not a strong Spanish speaker, you're going to be a little lost, but you can still feel it in consciousness. But if you watch it on YouTube, you can set the settings where it'll translate into English, do the closed captions, and the closed captions will translate it into English for you. So it's a beautiful service that Martha, you want to stand up for a minute? They know. If you have any questions about it, she's one of the leaders of our Spanish group, and so she's going to be leading that service, so thank you very much for doing that. And then also, later in the 2 weeks from today is our New Year service, and that's when we're ringing in the new year, so to speak. We'll have a burning bowl for you to let go of the year, and we'll also have a way of flash paper that will float up into the sky magically, and it'll be your wishes for the year. So it's a fun service to have. And then finally, the last day of December, the last day of this year, we're going to have a meditation at 4 o'clock in the morning. I know that's a little stretch, but it's a time when there's the exact time when everybody in the world can meditate at the same time, which they do. It's in the last time that the first people that have their New Year's will have that still be the 31st, so that's why we do it at that time. So all of these are wonderful, and all these are on our website you can look at for information, and I hope you can be a part of them. Then also I want to let you know we're still accepting giving cards, donation intentions. Most of you have already filled out who plan to do it, but if you haven't, I would really appreciate you consider doing one of these cards of intent, your intention for giving for 2025, because it helps us plan, the board and I plan for next year's budget. I will let you know that I told you at one point, last update I gave you, we were at 80,000. We are higher than that, and we're up to 91,000 now, so that's awesome. We're doing good. The board would like to see us break over that six-figure number, but we're doing good, and we appreciate it. And we appreciate if you had planned to do one of these cards of intention about your giving for 2025. We'd appreciate if you finished it by the end of the year, so we're able to go into 2025 to know what our budget was. So thank you very much for doing that. And then also, this coming Wednesday is something that's at Congregation Beth Shalom, which is on Elm Street. And it's a vigil done by an outside group in honor of seeking to end gun violence in our schools, in our churches, our synagogues, in our places, city government, different things. So that's Wednesday at 6:15 to 7:30. Looks like the doors open at 6:15. The program starts at 6:30. I know I'm going to be there, and I would invite you to be there so we can hold that consciousness that we're going to end so much gun violence that's in this nation. So thank you for being a part of that. So as we go into this sacred time, I want to go ahead and light our Advent candles we have. What's interesting about our faith here is we have a broader view of the story of Jesus and a broader view of the Advent candles that we take. So it is an interfaith interpretation of the Advent candles. But we do it often in some similar ways, but we take a bigger view of it. One way we do that with interfaith ways, we include the indigenous and Celtic way of including the directions. So as each candle, we're on the third candle now, but the first candle we lit 2 weeks ago, we call the prophecy candle. It's in the east, where we see vision, where we see a newness, a rebirth, a re-knowing. And it was also the prophecy that that good news was on its way, a new way was going to be shown. And so we're grateful for that. And then the second candle we had was called the, maybe I should look at my notes. I thought I had it right here. Oh, the Bethlehem candle. And that was representing the journey that Mary and Joseph had. It's in the south, which is an area of long journeys, of long enduring things that we have experienced ourselves. Perhaps it's a pathway to healing and health. Perhaps it's a transition in your life, a transformation, a change you're seeking, that we know we are never alone, just like Mary and Joseph were not alone. And we also know their journey brought them to this manger where there was quiet and peace, and it's in that quiet and peace where we find wisdom that was found on their journey. And finally, this Sunday, we light the shepherd's candle. And this is in the West, where it's a time of introspection, but it's also a time of harvest and gratitude. That the shepherds, according to the story of the birth of Jesus, the shepherds were watching their flock by night, that they were living out in the field. And by the way, just a side note is, that's one reason we believe Jesus was really born in the spring, because shepherds would not be sleeping out in the field during the winter. But the symbolism of them being in that field, and a light, an angel came to them and said, good news today is being born. A new way is being shown. And of course they were afraid, because they were going, whoa, this, because it was dark and suddenly this big light. And this angel said, do not be afraid. This is a day of joy, of gratitude for this new way being shown. And so today is a day of joy too, that we light this candle in honor of joy, in this light, in this changing, in this way that's being shown. We don't need to be afraid, because we are never alone. We are guided and protected and loved right where we are by this universal presence that Jesus called Abun in his voice of Aramaic, which meant Father, Mother, Living Spirit. So we know that essence is with us today as we begin this sacred time with music.
I invite you to sing along or just listen. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, you'll find it there. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, take a breath. Revolving tide, creating life. You are the one, I am the one. Evolving mind, healing life. And I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, you'll find it there.
I invite you to close your eyes and feel this wonderful moment, realizing the presence of God who is precisely here where we are right now, where we will be in our service in this place full of love, knowing that by being here, we will enjoy this wonderful talk that Reverend Jay has and his entire team has for us. Knowing that there is only one, I recognize God as the ultimate, limitless presence and power in the universe. God is all there is. Feel how wonderful it is to be here and realize and see how our dreams fulfilled. I'm thankful, accepting my good as already accomplished by being here. I release my prayer to the activity of the universal law of God, that power and that thought of one infinite mind. I completely free myself from any concern, and I let go and I let God. I release this true and total belief that it is all done, and so it is. And thank you for being here and having me. It's amazing. I was driving and it's a lot of traffic, and I'm thinking, wow, I'm going to be late. And no, you have to change that, because the program is teaching me to be in the present moment. And if I have my thoughts and the negative thinking, that's what happened. That's what I'm going to keep out. So I want to keep out all the positive that it is. My mother made her transition in Christmas Day, and 10 years ago. And December is always like a down month for me. But being here make me realize that everything is good. Everything is good, and she's in a better place because she really suffered, and I was with her for 3 months while she was in and out of the hospital. And all her organs was messing up on her, and she was real bad time. And but I know that I'm a spiritual being, and I am living and manifesting in the divine. And because I'm learning what I'm learning here, taking the classes and making sure that I don't get involved into the nonsense sometimes in my mind is, or whatever is around. I just make sure that I can free myself from all that. Because if I don't do that, I encounter myself into down or crying or doing things that I don't want to do. And I don't want to be there. I don't like that. But in a moment or two, sometimes I let it be. I get my tissue, get my glass of water, because I'm going to lose a lot of water. I need to drink a lot of water. But, this month, the light that is in me is pulling up and is coming up. And I feel wonderful, because before Science of Mind, I used to live only to live, and without any purpose, without any directions. And that's how I was raising my kids, because I was raised that way. In my house, whoever was screaming more, that's the one we used to hear. And today, I know that I don't have to scream. I don't have to worry about whatever I don't like, because that I don't like, I can use it as a stone to either build a castle or do something better in my mind, And if I just meditate on that thing that I don't like, I find things that I have to find in me. It's not what it is going on, it's how I react about that. So this is a beautiful thing to be here, and you are really wonderful to having me over. So I thank you very much, and enjoy.
I am my own medicine. I my own medicine here and now. I trust my own wisdom. I trust the answers from within. I trust my own wisdom here and now. I'm remembering my promises to myself, and I welcome them home. I'm surrendering the shadow of my lost self. Oh, I am my own guru. I am guided to my truth. I am my own guru here and now. I am my own medicine. I am healing from within. I am my own medicine here and now. Here and now. Here and now. Thank you.
It's a perfect song for today. Thank you very much. It's the idea that we reveal within us the wisdom that we need. We are our own medicine. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Astra. Thank you. When I begin today, I meant to introduce myself. Sometimes there's new people that don't know me. So I'm Rev J. I'm the spiritual director here at the center. And also, Martha Martinez was our practitioner this morning. It was a lovely, lovely sharing that you did and a lovely prayer. Thank you. Part of my my role here is people listen to me, but they also tolerate my humor. So I did want to say a few things about Christmas, because sometimes from a child's perspective, Christmas can be a little confusing. I mean, they know that, the whole idea of Santa Claus and God seems to be mixed up, and this baby that's born. I know when I was a child, I remember the story about the wise men who came from afar, and I couldn't figure out where the town of Afar was. But it must have been pretty cool, because wise people were there and lots of gold that they brought with them. And I also remember the story, the song about round yon mother and child, and I'm going, she had the baby, why is she still round? And I thought it wasn't nice to call people fat. Another boy asked his mom, now which virgin was the mother of Jesus? Was it the Virgin Mary or the King James Virgin? And a girl asked one time, why does Jesus sleep in heavenly peas? Why would anybody want to sleep in peas? And then another boy was singing the song, and his mom overheard him, and she could hear his words about the shepherds washed their socks by night. And of course, I don't know how many of you, but the Christmas pageants that a lot of Protestant churches do, where, they have the manger scene, and they often like to bring kids in role. How many people were part of those or saw them as kids? Anybody? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So some of them are quite funny because although they're rehearsed over and over again, there's no doubt some mistakes being made. The kids freeze. They can't remember their lines no matter how they went. And one boy was talking about the wise men. He was a wise man, and he goes, "I come bringing gold, Frankenstein, and myrrh." And then when Mary and Joseph showed up to try to get room at the end, somebody from the back said, "They should have made reservations." And another boy, being of kind heart, when Mary and Joseph came to find a place at the end, he goes, "Sure, lots of room, come on in." And I think that the facts of the story maybe don't even matter about the story of Jesus. It's the spiritual meaning, and that's what we want to focus on. We are influenced by Christianity. We embrace all faiths here. But we don't have to get hung up if the story was, it was in the spring, or if wise men really came. There's accounts. The first gospel that was written, Mark, in 70 of the Common Era, A.D., didn't even have the story of the birth. Nor did it, by the way, have the story of the resurrection. It was just basically the story of Jesus. And this birth story has a spiritual meaning to it that's so important. But probably the most important thing is, on this Shepherd Sunday, is that the angels came to tell us the good news. And the good news is there is a way being shown, a new way, a new possibility for us. Now, what I know is there have been spiritual teachers, prophets, wise men through the ages that have taught a very similar way. So it doesn't matter which way we have. Now, like I mentioned, we have been influenced by many religions, including Christianity, and I don't want to say anything today or any day that finds fault in Christianity, because it is a way. Whether it is the more conservative Christians, the moderate progressive Christians, or even the mystical Christians, they're all ways. And we embrace that. The only thing I would disagree with some Christian faiths is when they say it is the way. I think it is a way, because what Jesus taught about was taught by all the great saints and sages of all times. Jesus said that the kingdom of God is within us. It's not here or there. It is within us. And the other thing that's very important is that it is not I that does this work, he said. It is the Mother, Father, divine Creator through me. So he, in that way, he tells us he was an example, not the exception. And in the story of his birth, the idea that all is calm and all is bright, of course it comes from one of the Christmas carols. But I thought this was a great theme, because the practitioners and I have been talking about this story of Jesus and how Mary and Joseph came to the inn. And they came to Bethlehem when it was very busy. We don't know why it was so busy. The story about taxation doesn't make a lot of sense, but it doesn't matter. What we know is it was really busy. Sounds like right now in Napa or across this nation, the busyness when you travel, when you move around different places, it's busy. And instead of being a part of that busyness at the inn and streets, they went back to this manger where it was quiet and calm and peaceful. And so we, at this time, take time during our busy schedule to go to the manger, to be quiet where all is calm and all is bright. And that doesn't mean they were alone there, because there were lots of animals evidently around. The shepherds and the wise men came to visit them. They had lots of family, but it was in this sweet place of calmness and peace And we can imagine that, and we can bring that part of us with us, this sacredness. And today the theme is the incredible lightness of being. And what we know about the incredible lightness of being is that there is this light that is within us. And we can experience an incredible lightness of being because we are incredible lights of being. It's that simple. And I love this idea of this incredible light. There's actually a movie called Unbearable Lightness of Being. It has nothing to do with my talk today. And in fact, I would say light is bearable and makes it possible for us to transform, for us to be our own medicine, for us to reveal a greater wisdom, a greater way, not because we're making it up with our mind, but because it is Spirit through us. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, Spirit can only do for us what we allow it to do through us. So it's not going to be a bolt of lightning coming down or some strange destiny that we have to suffer in order to learn something. It is allowing to go to the manger and allow this wisdom to come forth in the quietness. To take a moment, even if it's just a moment, even if you're waiting at a red light and you notice some anxiety, some frustration. I was at Target yesterday, and I noticed a lot of more traffic in town. I don't think this many people live in Napa. I don't know where they come from, but I've never seen it before. But I did notice in Target, I saw some weary faces. First time I'd seen it in December, this year at least. Weary faces. They had been through a lot of stores and a lot of shopping, and they were waiting in line, and there was just stress with the kids, stress with the parents, stress with just single people there. And I know when we're around other people who are stressed or our own stress that we can feel that if we just take a moment and do some breaths, or just to give well wishes to people, even if it's silently in our mind, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be at peace. May I be well, may I be at peace also. And it's this idea that we are part of this faith that is contemplative. And it's a way that Jesus talked about, but it's also a way that Muhammad talked about, Moses talked about, Isaiah. Isaiah is an interesting one. He was a prophet in the Old Testament, also part of the Torah. The Torah is the Jewish sacred text that is the first 5 books of the Old Testament. So Isaiah is both in the Torah and in the Old Testament. And he says, I don't know if he was channeling or just opening it up, but he writes, the voice of one calls us, prepare the way for Spirit. The voice of one is Spirit itself, and it's reminding us to make way for Spirit within us. It goes on to say, make a straight highway in the desert for Spirit. Every valley should be lifted up, every mountain and hill made low. So this idea that we are in the desert, which means a deserted place, that we pull away from the noise and the lights, and we take a moment to just allow this, prepare a way for Spirit to move through us. Remember, it's not what God or somebody does for us, somebody out there, but Spirit moving through us that creates this power. So we make room for it, for a highway, which is a strange word in the Bible, but when I read it, it's a higher way, to allow a higher way, because we know the ways we have been doing life sometimes don't work, and we have to seek a higher way, a more conscious way, a more elevated way, and we find that within. We find this clarity. And the angels who visit the shepherds remind us also, fear not. There is a way. There is always a way. And sometimes it takes time. I know this time of the year, the light that I'm talking about, as if, everything is wonderful this time of the year. It's not always. It's not. Sometimes it's hard to find the light. Martha, thank you for your vulnerability this morning, because you were speaking for so many people. So many people, December is difficult because of a loss you've had, either in December or it just gets to the holidays and you miss somebody you used to spend the holidays with. It can be tough. So thank you for being willing to share that, because it speaks in this room, it speaks to people online. December is not always merry and fun. And it can still be joyful in a lot of ways. We can find in gratitude for those whom we have lost, that we had these holidays with them. That we can open up to Spirit comforting us at this time. Because Spirit is always with us and always willing to be that. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said that the highermost God and the innermost God are the same God. And it's this innermost God that brings us comfort and peace when we seek it, if we allow it. It's also an awareness and a mindfulness that comes with Spirit, though, too. There was an 18th century playwright named Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. And one of his most famous plays was called Faust, which you might recognize that. But this is what he said: I have come to the frightening conclusion that I am the decisive element. It is my personal approach that creates the climate. It is my daily mood that makes the weather. I possess tremendous power to make life miserable or joyous. I can be a tool of torture or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate or humor, hurt or heal. In all situations, it is my response that decides whether a crisis is escalated or de-escalated, a person humanized or dehumanized. If we treat people as they are, we may make them worse. If we treat people as they ought to be, or as we imagine them to be as spiritual beings, we can help them become what they're capable of becoming. So his play, Faust, I don't know if you're familiar with that. I read it in college. It was about somebody selling their soul to the devil. But it doesn't sound like what he believed. I think it was this metaphysical way of saying that we are a choice, and if we're mindful, if we don't keep mindful, we can sell our soul to being negative. And that although I don't believe in a devil, I believe that we can find hell on earth if we allow this negativity to take root into ourselves, into us. And so to create this lightness of being, if you want to talk about being enlightened or being transformed or being mindful, but to be enlightened, we need to lighten up. We need to find the lightness of being. There's a difference between sacred and serious. We can be sacred, but we don't need to be serious. We can be light and treat other people lightly and hold to them their spiritual path, that they are spiritual beings. We are all spiritual beings having the human experience. Some people are having more of a human experience on some days than others. Last year I was talking about Karen Waldron's, her book called The Lightmaker's Manifesto. She also wrote a book called Radiant Rebellion. And she's the one who brings up this idea that when we care deeply about the world, light at times can seem hard to find. But she said, when you let your action in the world grow out of your joy, and vice versa, you begin to see the light everywhere. She said, I will never apologize for embracing joy and beauty, even when the world is falling apart, because joy and beauty are my fuel, my activism, my action in the world. And so she sees this joy, and she saw it when she was working in hunger projects in Africa. The people were so joyful to find ways that were working, even though there were still massive amounts of poverty and health crises of different kinds with AIDS and malaria. They saw joy in successful interventions, one person, one family at a time. And she was so inspired by that, and I'm inspired by the people here who are doing the volunteer work they do, and they're doing it out of joy and peace and love. And I appreciate that. So as we continue to open up to a greater sense of who we are and how we open up, I know this joy comes to us in a greater way. So the first way, we've been talking this year about a grand rising. This has been a theme. But to me, this is also a symbol of our grand rising in consciousness, of mindfulness, raising to a new level, because that's the way we are transformed. That's the way this world is transformed, through raising it higher. Last week we talked about this, the scale of David Hawkins created, a calibration level. And I think it's important. There are times that we are angry or in fear or in grief. And that is okay. And we need to feel what we need to feel. We don't want to bypass our feelings, especially around grief and loss. But we begin moving up this scale with our willingness, our gratitude, our acceptance of things, our courage, and move into love, joy, and peace. And the more we practice this, the more we can move up this scale quicker than we did before. So, about 2 weeks ago, it was on, I think, the 7th of December, we had scheduled a day to decorate the building you're in right now, in the sanctuary, with the trees and the things out in the lobby. And I was on my way here in my truck, and I hit a curb and popped a tire. And changing tires on my truck is difficult to do. And it was 10 till 10. We were supposed to start at 10. And so I got out and I started changing. Right away I was having problems with the jack system and everything. I was frustrated and mad at myself for hitting the curb. And I was stuck, and somebody called me at 10 going, "Where are you? There are people here ready to get in, you know." I'm trying to get there, but I'm just so frustrated and angry at myself. But I go, okay, just allow, one thing at a time. So I got the tire off. My jack was not working right. And I just go, okay, Spirit, what you got? Because I am lost here. And suddenly somebody shows up, a neighbor from across the way with a jack. And said, "Do you need one of these?" I'm going, "Thank you." Oh, thank you. So, these angels show up in this way that we know. I don't know if you were here when Bodie was talking about his story about he was here, and he had just come from when we'd had the last heavy rain we had before, and he lives up in Mount Shasta, and they had like 3-4 feet of snow up there, and he was stuck at his house and couldn't get out, and he was supposed to come here to be our musician. And then randomly, because he called the city, and our plows are busy doing other things, nobody could come out and help him. And then somebody just showed up, this impish man that almost looked like a short Santa Claus on a snow plow, and plowed him out and just waved and kept going and disappeared. He didn't even know who to thank. But he came and played with us that day because he was released, and angels showed up. And these are the miracles that can happen when we're raising up in a way that opens up. That opens up to a greater way. I know that I was also had a situation where I was heading to Thanksgiving to visit my son and my daughter-in-law and 2 of our grandchildren. And I had to catch an early flight out of San Francisco. And I got there to the gate just as the plane was leaving, because I miscalculated the time. I tell you, forgiveness, I think, is the hardest. First of all, self-forgiveness is harder than other kinds of forgiveness. And second of all, when we have done something we've done has caused harm or injury to someone else, it becomes harder. Now, maybe in the grand scheme of things it wasn't big, but I did, instead of arriving midday into Boston and able to take the commuter trains to where my son lives, he had to come at 10 o'clock at night, a 2-hour drive to Boston to pick me up, and 2 hours back. So that day before I caught my plane, I had to do a lot of self-forgiveness. I did some breathing and allowing and just, I found some level of acceptance, but it would come as a wave. I don't know how much forgiveness work you've done, but it comes in waves. It doesn't go, oh, I forgive that situation. It just doesn't happen that easy. You've got to fully feel something. And so every time it came up, I felt it and let it go. I didn't want the harshness I was treating myself with, I didn't want that to take root into my body, so I let that go. But I did have some responsibility to it. There were no more delays in the flight that day. I did get in at 10 o'clock. My son did pick me up. I apologized. He said it wasn't a big deal. And on the way back, the 2 hours back to Rhode Island where he lives, we had a great conversation, a deep conversation, a meaningful conversation. Now, I'm not suggesting that I missed that flight so we could have that conversation, or some divine presence wanted me to have that conversation. But I will say, because I let go and opened to it, did the forgiveness work ahead of time, meaning came out of it. I was present with what was happening. And that's the key to we open up this incredible lightness of being that we are. And what I know about this mindful work that we're doing, this conscious work that we're doing, we're raising up the level of it, that we need to accept the miracle, allow it to come through us as us, and allow this sense of wonder and joy to come forth that we have. But also, it's important for us to come out and play. I don't know if you're a Beatles fan or not, but I just love John Lennon's song, Dear Prudence. It seems like such a simple song, but it's so profound. I think that was his girlfriend time. I don't know the background of the story, but the words say, Dear Prudence, won't you come out to play? Greet the brand new day. The sun is up. The sky is blue. It's beautiful, and so are you. The wind is low. The birds will sing that you are a part of everything. That's my favorite line. The birds will sing that you are a part of everything, because we are a part of everything. And he ends it with, won't you come out to play? We are meant to spend time like a ship in a harbor for healing, for restoration. But we're not meant to stay in the harbor. We're meant to go out and play and interact and be with people. Selectively, that which we are. But we want to be engaged in people, to bless people, to open up, to know our spiritual beingness and know the spiritual being of other people. In this incredible lightness of being. And when we are aware of our light, when we allow Spirit to come through us, we recognize our own lightness of being, we can know it for others as well. And we can play in the light, play in the creative forces that are around us at all times. And we just allow this to happen through us today and always. Let us go to prayer. What I know in this moment is that there is only light. There is only Spirit. Despite what this world seems of chaos and confusion, Spirit is in all things. There is only one. And I know the Spirit moves in and through each of us and through this world, reminding us of the light we are. And as we see the world full of Christmas lights this time of year, it is our reminder, reflect it back to us that we are the light, that you are the light, that I am the light. And for this we're grateful as I release this word into the law, knowing it is so. And so it is.
Through winter's hush, a spark appears, a glow of love to calm our fears. Let love be our armor, soft yet strong, a light that leads us to the dawn. Beneath the frost, life takes root, a quiet bloom of tender truth. Love awakens, the shadows fade, a steady flame to light our way. Let love be our armor, a shield of song, a light that leads us to the dawn, to the dawn. With every breath the light expands, the stars above flow from these hands. Our hearts align, the night grows thin, new day arises from within. Let love be our armor, soft yet strong, a light that leads us to the dawn. Let love be our armor, a shield of song, a light that leads us to the dawn, to the dawn. To the dawn. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Is that new?
Yes.
Wow.
First time
Wow.
I played it today.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, love it. Let love be our armor. Yeah, beautiful. Very sacred. Very leaves a good feeling. So thank you. Thank you. This is a time in our service when we invite you to be part of the law of circulation of giving and receiving. If ushers could come forward, please. What I know is that which you give, supporting our vision and mission here, the work that we're doing in consciousness and love, it comes back to you tenfold in so many ways. The blessings in your life, it's a way of opening, another way of preparing the way for spirit by opening your heart. So if you'll take an imagined or real donation, something you've given in the past, the present, or will in the future, and just bring that hand over your heart and repeat with me the affirmation that's on the screen. divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is.
Repeat after me. I am a magnet, I attract love, peace, and abundance. Your turn. I am a magnet, I attract love, peace, and abundance. My turn. I trust my gifts. Your turn. I trust my gifts. Follow my soul, follow my soul. Here and now, here and now, here and now, here and now. All together. I am a magnet, I attract love, peace, and abundance. Say that again. I am a magnet, I attract love, peace, and abundance. I trust my gifts. Follow my soul. Here and now, here and now, here and now.
Beautiful, beautiful. This time in our service, when we want to welcome anybody who might be here for the first time, we welcome all people here, even if it's been a while since you've been here. Maybe it's not your first time, but the first time in a while, as well as those people online. We want to acknowledge you, particularly those people that have been just watching us online for a long time. We appreciate your support, and anybody new, we welcome you as well. So if you happen to be in the room and your first time, if you're willing to raise your hand, we have a gift for you, and we just want to acknowledge you. So we are an inclusive community and love to have people here. We do have coffee and snacks outside. The sun is shining, so it should be a little warmer today. So we so appreciate you being and joining with us today. What do the airlines say? There are many choices, and we're glad you've chosen to be with us. So, so glad to have everybody here, and so glad to have everybody here. It's a beautiful time to be part of a community. And we have a blessing for our new people. We raise our hands and we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community. And so it is. So wonderful. So please consider coming to the solstice on the 19th. Next Sunday for carols. The Spanish group service is at 12:30, and then our big candlelight service is on the 23rd. I do want to give you a heads up, particularly for the Monday night, but either Thursday or Monday, that parking downtown in the evening can be challenging. And also just finding seats on Monday night, we may be full. So I would come 10 or 15 minutes early on Monday just to make sure you have seats here. Or at least your choice of seats, because I think it'll be a beautiful night. So let's all stand for the community affirmation. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by Spirit.
I am led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I am guided by wisdom.
I'm protected by love.
I am protected by love.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And now our closing song.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
So as we go forth, we know that we are incredible beings of light, and we are in joy of this incredible lightness of being. And so it is. Have a good rest of your day. Hope to see you Thursday.